So we're continuing the series, shaare teshuva, the gateway of repentance. Last time, we stopped in the middle of the 10th category of severity, and that was the people who have no share in the world to come. And last time, we said one of the classes of sinners who have no share in the world to come. Last time we explained apikoris, what an apikoris was, whatever. And now, Rizat Hashem will explain other classes of sinners whose behavior causes them to lose their share in the world to come. And that's what Rizat Hashem will discuss today. So, Seif Kuf Nun Tet. All the Kitot she'en lahen helek olam haba. There are other classes of sinners who have no share in the world to come. Ve'hem kato ivei Hashem yitbarach. There are the classes of enemies of Hashem yitbarach. Ve'chatam habelin kerem Hashem. The class of those who destroy Hashem's vineyard, meaning those who cause widespread and serious damage to the Jewish people. And 3, the class of those who intimidate others, meaning they abuse their authority over the Jewish people and terrorize their subjects. We now present a description and sources for their punishment, losing their share in the world to come. So again, we have enemies of Hashem, we have destroying Hashem's vineyard, and we have the class of those who intimidate others, meaning they terrorize Jewish people. And then we'll explain. So Rabbi now starts with the enemies of Hashem. It is set forth clearly in the Torah that the class of Hashem's enemies will be banished from the world to come. Shene'emar, Umshalem leson'av el panav le'avido lo ye'aher leson'o el panav yishalem lo. It says, and he repays his enemies in his lifetime to make him perish. He will not delay for his enemy. In his lifetime, he shall repay him. Perush, this means, Yishalem sonav shechana mitzvot she'em osim ba'olam hazeh le'avidam min ha'olam haba. Hashem repays his enemies in this world with the reward of them for the mitzvot they do, in order to banish them from the world to come. If we Targum Onkelos reads, Mushalem leson ohi tavan de yinun ovdin kodamohi behayehon leodehon. And he prays his enemies during their lifetime for their good deeds that they perform before him, in order to banish them. So, what's Abir now saying over here? That enemies of Hashem, that they are banished from the world to come. As the Pasuk says, that he prays his enemies in his lifetime to make him perish. He not delay for his enemy, in his lifetime he shall repay him. Which means that whoever is considered Hashem's enemies is only paid in this world. And why does he get paid in this world? To banish him from the next world. So Hashem's going to pay him in this world, and therefore Hashem's not going to have to pay him in the next world. That's what we're saying. Now, if you think about it, there's an obvious question, because we know Pirkei Avot teaches us that all the pleasures of this world combined cannot equal to one moment of pleasure in Olam Haba. That's what we know. And And then that means that if that's the case, so the question is, if you're getting paid in this world, which can't even equal to Olam Haba, so how is that exactly justice? Because if you think about it, we know Hashem pays everyone what they're due to their reward. Now, Tzaddikim, let's say Tzaddikim and Reshaim do the same act. One of them will get a higher reward, which is in Olam Haba, which is a greater pleasure, and the Reshaim will get their reward in this world, which is much, much less of a reward. It's some physical reward. So the question is, why the Reshaim, when they're getting paid in this world, it's not the same. It's not the same as Tzaddikim. Tzaddikim, they get paid in the next world, okay. But the Reshaim, they're getting paid in this world. It's much, much less of a reward. So how is that justice? So, Panim Yafot explains that the difference between the world reward between the wicked and the righteous is because basically it's whatever they're getting rewarded according to what they value, the appreciation of its value. Meaning, so in Masechet Berachot describes the nature of the reward in the world to come, and what is it? It's a purely spiritual experience, obviously. And what happens is the tzaddikim are enjoying from the Shekhinah, Hashem, and the radiance of the Shekhinah, and basically they're devoting their life to becoming higher spiritually and to come close to Hashem, and that state is it's a pleasure that's unattainable in this world. And however, the Reshaim, on the other hand, they never had a goal. For the enemies of Hashem, their goal is obviously never to come close to Hashem, because if they're enemies of Hashem, it means I don't want to have nothing to do with you. That's it. And therefore, their concept of pleasure is restricted to this physical world. All material is what they view as pleasure. And therefore, and while it's true that in its essence, such pleasure are cheap and worthless compared to the spiritual, sadly, the wicked have crippled themselves so much to the point that they're unable to enjoy the true form of pleasure. This true form. So meaning they're not, even if you were to reward them, they just can't enjoy it. Why not? Because it's just so embarrassing. Imagine now, you're doing something, you're all your life you're rebelling against Hashem, Has v'Shalom. You die one day, you go to the next world. It's such an embarrassment. And let's say somehow, for some reason, you did get Olam Haba, you just wouldn't be able to enjoy it. Because first of all, it's such an embarrassment. If you're getting pleasure from something that you know is wrong, and I shouldn't be doing this, so you're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to be able to enjoy the pleasure. But furthermore, since they just disconnected themselves from Hashem completely, so now someone you hate, you're not going to be able to enjoy pleasure from him. And therefore, they only get a pleasure that they can appreciate in this world. So again, what's the answer? So Tzaddikim, they get paid in the next world because they recognize that's the true pleasure of life, and that's what they're able to. That's what type of pleasure they're able to that they're capable of having such pleasures. But the Shaim, on the other hand, they're not capable of such pleasures. It's not possible for them to enjoy from something from they know what they did was wrong. It's no way they'll be able to enjoy. And that's why the Shaim have to benefit in this world, not the next. So that's the answer. So Rabbi Yonah says, it continues, Ve'amad David alav shalom, David HaMelech alav shalom said, Ki Resha'im yovedu ve'oivei Hashem kikar karim kalu ve'ashan kalu. And the wicked will be lost, and the enemies of Hashem are like the glory, meaning the fats of fat sheep, consumed and smoke there are consumed. So what does that mean? Hizkir ala Resha'im leshon avedah. In regards to the wicked people, in general, David uses the term avedah, which is to be lost. Ki al asar v'agalut. For this term is used for suffering in exile. Kanyan Shneimar, said in many places, Ha'uvdim be'et ashur. For example, the prophet describes the exiled 10 tribes as those lost in the land of Assyria. In Ishaya. So in Ovdot HaYomi, elsewhere, he also says, a prophet also says, my people were like lost sheep. Taiti Vasad Ovid. And in a similar use of the word, David HaMelech confesses, I have strayed like lost sheep. Meaning that the sheep have been exiled from its flock. In all these cases, the term lost describes a state of oppressed exile. The term Avidah is also used for death as is stated in many places. For example, Asavati Be'oni, David declared, had your Torah not been my preoccupation, then I would have perished. Avati in my affliction. Be'odan Molanti, instead pleaded, how can I bear to witness the extermination Be'odan of my people? Ve'avanti et hanefesh and describing the punishment for desecrating Yom Kippur, the pasuk says, I'll destroy Ve'avadati that soul from among the people, from among its people. Meaning of excision, which is excision from this world, meaning die young. Ki Hashaim Yanshu Besarot Veisurin or Vemavet. Meaning, therefore, the wicked will be punished with misfortune and afflictions, or with premature death. In addition, they will be punished as they'll deserve for their deeds in the next world as well, but their punishment will be limited in scope and duration, after which they will receive their share in the world to come. So now Rabbi Yonah over here is bringing a source for the fate of enemies of Hashem. And David HaMelech said, the wicked will be lost, and the enemies of Hashem are like the glory, meaning the fats of fat sheep, and smoke they are consumed. So it's saying the enemies of Hashem, they're consumed in smoke, meaning they're totally gone. Also, wicked people in general, David HaMelech says, calls them Avidah because they're lost. And also we're saying that, so basically we're saying therefore the wicked will be punished with misfortune and afflictions, meaning and with premature death, but in addition they'll be punished what they deserve for their deeds in the next world as well. But since it's going to be in this world, it's going to limit their punishment in the next world, because they're suffering here. But that's with regards to the Hashem in general. What about enemies of Hashem? They have no share in the world to come, so they're not gonna get some suffering here, and then not suffer as much in the next world. But in the second part of this pasuk, that we compare the enemies of Hashem to the fats of the sheep, which melt in fire and dissipate in smoke. He did not even compare them to the flesh of sheep, because it turns to charcoal and the ashes will still remain. It says, therefore he said, consume smoke, they're consumed. Just as the fats of the sheep are consumed in the smoke, so too the enemies of Hashem will be consumed without a trace, meaning they're going to be fully gone. And their souls will be consumed and lost in the world to come. Meaning that their souls, that what it means smoke over here, they're going to be consumed, is that they're not that they're going to have, that means they're not only are they gone in this world, they're also gone in the next world. Like they're completely gone. They're smoke. There's nothing else you could do with it. It says regarding this category of sinners in Shemot, Poked Avot Avot Al Banim Al Shilashim Valley to Be'im Lesonai. Hashem visits the sin of the fathers upon the children to the third and fourth generations for my enemies. Perush Lesonai Kasher Avot Soneh. And the meaning of my enemies is the fathers, meaning the original sinners are my enemies, meaning the enemies of Hashem. Meaning to say that Hashem is going to visit the whoever comes from this father, they are gonna have to deal with some misfortunes, things like that. Why? Because of their father, because he was Hashem's enemy, which brings misfortune to and brings punishment upon their children. Where that is how the Hakamim Zonanaka explain the words, those who love me. It said, because the pasuk says, I show kindness to thousands of generations to those who love me and observe my commandments. Which means when the fathers are classified as those who love me, I do kindness to their offspring for 2,000 generations. The contrast regarding those who faithfully keep the mitzvot fall short in loving Hashem, says, for those who observe my commands for 1,000 generations, not 2,000. Therefore, we could infer from this pasuk and respond to my enemies, similarly that after Hashem, this is the sins of the fathers of the children. The pasuk is referring back to the fathers and says that this is the severe measure that's only for my enemies. Pasuk clarifies this because there are some sins whose punishment falls on the sinner alone and not on his offspring. Hashem's enemies, their sin is visited upon the children to the third and fourth generations. And this doesn't mean that they're being punished for their fathers. It's only if they continue in their father's path, they're getting punished for the sin. But even in this case, it can't actually mean that they receive punishment for the sins that they did not commit. It's just that they're going to be denied a certain level of divine mercy. So that's what it means. Hashem's not going to be treating them with kindness and mercy and things like that because of his father. So that's the point. The point is over here, 3 and 4 generations, someone's going to be, his descendants of an enemy of Hashem is going to be cursed. Not, Hashem won't treat him with mercy, his children. And with regards to Sadiqim who love Hashem, they will be for 2,000 generations. Hashem's going to treat them more with mercy. And also, if you don't love Hashem, meaning you fulfill the mitzvot, but you don't exactly love Hashem, meaning you fear Hashem, but you don't love Hashem, so it's 1,000 generations. See Kuf Sama. בעניין שונאי השם, the quality of the enemies of Hashem, נמסר לפעמים גם כאנשים שהם עושים המצוות. Can sometimes be found even among the people who perform mitzvot. וזהירים מכל עבירה כמעשה ובלשון, and who carefully avoid every transgression in action and in speech. אם נפשם רעה או קרב ליבם נקשה להם, this can occur if they harbor negative feelings and within their hearts it bothers them. כאשר אבריהם עוסקים Torah. When their peers engage in Torah study, or if it's disagreeable in their eyes, when people serve Hashem and fear Him, Torah characterizes such people as haters or enemies of Hashem, just as you would say about a person that does not want the people to honor the king and serve him. He actually hates the melech. He hates the king, even though if he observes all the laws. Kol sheken, it's all the more so for im hostiu mahashatam hara elakual. If they put their evil thoughts into practice, shem meniim et lev bnei adam. They actually turn people's hearts away from studying Torah and from performing mitzvot, because they are enemies of Hashem. So now Rabbi is defining what it means to be an enemy of Hashem. So Rabbi says something scary, that even people who you could find they perform mitzvot, they're doing mitzvot, and they carefully avoid every transgression, action, and speech, they're performing the Torah in action and speech. They don't say lashon hara. They're doing all the mitzvot, whatever. But if they have negative feelings within them, if it bothers them, they're considered enemies of Hashem. Meaning, so if it bothers, for example, if it bothers them, they see people learning Torah, it's bothering him in his heart, he's an enemy of Hashem. And the Mirna compares this to someone who does not want the people to honor the king. He that means he hates the king, even if he actually observes all the laws. He basically hates the king still. Why? Because he doesn't want other people to follow the king's commands and rules. And obviously, this is all more so if they put their thoughts into practice. Meaning that they take people away from studying Torah and performing mitzvot, and they are enemies of Hashem. So meaning it's all more so if I actually do something to make people not religious. Even if you yourself are performing the mitzvot, but in your heart you really don't want other people performing the mitzvot, so you're an enemy of Hashem regardless if you're keeping the mitzvot or not. The same is true for people who regards the honor given to the upright and righteous Torah scholars. And so who resent the crown of glory, Oyedan levavam imi adehem tetem uva memshelet ador. Where when they are given authority over the generation, Meken Katuv is written regardless in Shemuel Aleph, Kibo Kamasu Kioti Masu Memelochadehem. For it is not you who they rejected, but me who they rejected from reigning over them. Im Yivakeshu Kevodam Lichlima. Certainly if it is so that they seek to put their honor to shame. Otherwise, diminish their esteem. The same is certainly true. If they love the honor enjoyed by wicked people, and they want the rule to be planted on the earth, then such people are truly enemies of Hashem. They have no desire to reserve His command of service among people. They do not desire that the fear of His holiness be glorified, or that the numbers of those who serve Hashem and serve Him and fear Him be greatly increased. So again, what do we think? So the Birna says, what else is considered an enemy of Hashem? So what this the same is also true for people who, meaning they disrespect the rabbis, and they're pained when Talmidei Hachamim rule over the generation. They rather have Reshaim. They're happy when Reshaim are in charge of the world, and they're upset when Talmidei Hachamim have power. They want the Reshaim, and obviously, even if they're putting their honor to shame, meaning they're trying to shame the Talmidei Hachamim, and obviously they're also enemies of Hashem. And these are such people who are considered enemies of Hashem. So that's what it means to be an enemy of Hashem. So that's what an enemy of Hashem is. So now we move on to the next thing. Destroyers of the vineyard of Hashem. Next thing. Save Kuf Samach Aleph. Likewise, the class of those who destroy the vineyard of Hashem, meaning the people of Israel, and such as informers and those who cause the public to sin. They are actually enemies of Hashem. Just as one would say about people who destroy the king's cities or his vineyards or in the orchards, they are the enemies of the king. It says that now the vineyard of Hashem, master of legions in the house of Israel, people of Yehudah are the shield of His delight. So therefore, causing damage to the Jewish people is an act of sabotage. The prized possessions of Hashem. And it says in Tehillim, against your people they plot deviously, they take counsel against your treasures. So Birna is basically saying that. So what? So the Birna explains that what does it mean to be destroyer of the vineyard of Hashem? The Birna is explaining that this is also obviously by destroying the vineyards of Hashem, you're obviously also an enemy of Hashem, as you said, because if you're, and what's an example of someone who destroys the vineyard of Hashem? He causes others to sin. מחטיאה רבים. If you're causing the public to sin, so obviously you're an enemy of Hashem. Not only are you destroying the vineyard of Hashem, meaning you're destroying the Jewish people, you're also destroying, you're enemy of Hashem. Abirana says, just like if you were to destroy the king's cities, and vineyards and things, you're an enemy of Hashem. Also, with Hashem, you say the same thing. You destroy Hashem's vineyard, meaning the Jewish people. As it says about the Jewish people, that they're referred to as Hashem's vineyard. It says now the vineyard of Hashem, master allegiance in the house of Israel, and people of Yehudah are the shoot of his delight. Meaning that's where we see that the Jewish people are compared to the vineyard of Hashem. It also says against your people they plot deviously, they take counsel against your enemies. So we continue, V'ne'emar, and it says, Ki no'asu lev yachdav alecha berit yichrotu. It says, come let us cut them off from nationhood, so Israel's name will not be remembered any longer, for they take counsel together unanimously. They strike covenant against you, planning to destroy. The Jewish people is described as striking covenant against him, Hashem, V'ne'emar, and it says elsewhere, V'noznim nosdu yachad al Hashem ve'al Mashiach. The kings of the earth take their stand, and the princes conspire secretly against Hashem and against His anointed. Waging war on the Jewish people is described as taking a stand against Hashem. For this reason, said in Rosh Hashanah, Ki hamasorot ve'yashadu ve'hitu et harabim. So that the informers and those who sinned and caused the public to sin. Yehudim legehinom v'nidonin sham l'dorei hadorot. They're sent to Gehinom and they're punished there for all generations, because they have no share in the world to come. So, what's one who destroys the vineyard of Hashem? We're basically saying someone who causes damage to the Jewish people by making them either go off the derech, has shalom, things like that. Mahtiya Rabim, because as it says further, it says, come let us cut them off from nationhood, so Yisrael, they will not be remembered any longer, for they take counsel together unanimously, and they strike covenant against you. But that means by planning to destroy the Jewish people, it's described as striking a covenant against Hashem. It's also said that the kings of earth take their stand, and the princes conspire secretly against Hashem, against His anointed, which teaching us that you're waging war against the Jews, on the Jewish people. It's described as taking a stand against Hashem. For this reason, it says in Rosh Hashanah, those who cause others to sin, to go to Gehinom forever and punished there for all generations. That's those who destroy the vineyard of Hashem. Now, who are those who instill terror in the land of the living? Siku Samachbet. V'chad hanotnim hitatam ve'ez hayim. Regarding the class of those who instill terror in the land of the living, the prophet Yehezkel Shalom has spoken about them and stated regarding them after their death, because they're instill terror in the land of the living, their sins remain upon them. We learn from this that even death will not atone for them. Rather, the sins will remain upon them permanently, forever, excluding them from the world to come. Meaning, So what are we saying? So what does it say about them? About such people who instill terror in the land of the living? It says because they instill terror in the land of the living, their sins remain upon them. Meaning, we learn from this that death will not atone for them. Rather, the sins will remain upon them permanently. That's what we learn. המינים והמשומדים והאפיקורוסים, מן הפסטס האפיקורוסים והמסורות, informers, ושכפרו התורה ושכפרו בתחיית המתים. Those who deny the divinity of the Torah, those who deny the resurrection of the dead, שפרשו בדרכי סיבוד, those who separate themselves from the content of the community, שנתנו את התא ועץ חיים, those who instill terror in the land of the living, כגון הפנסים המעטיבים, המה יתרה על הציבור שלא ישים שמיים, such as those who, and those communal leaders who instill excessive fear in the community, not for the sake of heaven, שחדאו והחטיאו את הרבים, those who sin and cause the public to sin, כגון ירבעם בן נבט וחבריו, such as ירבעם בן נבט and those like him, יורדים לגיהינום ונידונים הבא לדורי דורות, sent to Gino and punished there for generations. In the Bible says, ויעשו יראו בפגרי אנשים פושעים כי תורתם לא תמות ואישם לא תכבה. And they will go out and see the corpses of men rebelled against me, for their decay will not cease, and their fire will not be extinguished. The punishment for the groups in this list is endless, and therefore I know share in the world to come. So what's up here now saying? That the Hamim said that in regards to Minin, apostates, apikoshim, formers, those who deny the Torah, those who deny the resurrection of the dead, those who separated themselves from the conduct of the community, those who instill terror in the land of the living. That's what we're talking about now. Such as those who communal leaders still excessive fear in the community, not for the sake of heaven. Meaning that you make them fear you, even it's not for the sake of heaven. And those who sin and cause the public to sin, such as Avam ben Nevat and those like him. And what about Avam ben Nevat? He was the first king of the 10 tribes of Israel. He was afraid that his subjects would return to the king of Yehuda if they were to continue to visit the Beit HaMikdash. Therefore, he outlawed the triennial pilgrimage to Yerushalayim and substituted this to idolatrous temples. He had constructed each a single golden cap. By doing this, he caused others to sin by bringing avodah zarah, stuff like that. So he became a classic example of a sinner who caused others to sin. Those like him, versus anyone who caused the public to sin. And they decided to gain on for all generations. As says, they'll go out and see the corpses, the men who rebelled against me with the decay will not cease, and their fire will not be extinguished. Meaning, they won't end. It's endless. The eternal punishment for those who instill terror in the land of the living, stems from the stems from the five considerations. Hashanayim misad a small shelosha misad am, to relate to how such actions revealed to the false sinner himself, to relate to how they affected the people, the victims. Hashanayim shehem misad a small, two considerations that relate to the sinner himself are as follows. So right now we're saying that we're not explaining why those who instill excessive fear in others, they're counted among the most severe offenders. What is causing others to fear you? Why is that so bad? So Avirna says 5 things. 2 of them relate to you, and 3 of them relate to how you're affecting the people. One consideration is that human is referred to as maggots and worms due to its state when its body decomposes in the grave. And he's called this while he's still alive. And yet the sweat the truth, not only is he does the intimidating leader not bend and defers to the others and lower himself in humility, he is tarer and gam is tarer shelo l'shem shamayim. He seeks completely to dominate others not for the sake of heaven, just for his own personal gratification. And gam hashevet hagavam v'eli he's tarer nifsar ha'adam. Why even with the mere thought of arrogance, without the action dominating others, a person could be ruined. Says every haughty heart is abominable. Is an abomination to Hashem. Says the Mishlet, Dan Mishlet. By intimidating others, one betrays an attitude completely at odds with the humility that is required of every person. So, we're saying that the first problem that has to do with that a human being is so we're saying the 2 considerations that relate to himself is the number 1, that the human is referred to as maggots and worms because he decomposes in the grave. Even while he's alive, he's called this. Now, he's not lowering himself in humility. He seeks to dominate others, even for, not for the sake of heaven, for his own, whatever. That's ga'ava. And with the mere thought of arrogance, a person can be ruined, as it says, every haughty heart is an abomination to Hashem. So, by doing this, you are, this attitude completely, one betrays an attitude completely at odds with the humility that is required of every person. So that's one reason. Second consideration is that a person is obligated to focus all his thoughts at all times. להשכין בליבו ימה ויראה מלפני השם יתברך, ותנצור his heart in all the fear of Hashem יתברך. והשעים נאמר, with regard to wicked it says, ולא עמדו בלבם ונדע נא את Hashem. They did not say in their heart, let us fear Hashem. This implies that the root of their wickedness is that they did not set their hearts to fear Hashem. A person who intimidates others not for the sake of heaven. Certainly has no awe of Hashem in his own heart. It will say that and he goes so far as to want to impose fear of some on Hashem's creatures. This is the polar opposite of the true obligation, where instead of fulfilling his obligation to gather his thoughts to impress the fear of Hashem in his heart. He gathers them to impose fear of himself on the people of Hashem Barach. And therefore, so what are we saying now? The second consideration is that instilling fear in others stands in complete opposition to one's constant obligation to instill fear of Hashem in one's own heart. Meaning that, so you're trying to make them focus on fearing you and not Hashem. So that's another problem about you. And then says the ruler over a righteous man is the righteous one. The fear of God rules. Perush Ra'ui Liyot Moshe Ba'adam Sadiq. This means that only a righteous person who is fit to be ruler over men, Shel Moshe Lirat Elohim, is for his rules the rule of fear of God. And it's not the man himself who's ruling over the others, it's really the fear of Hashem that rules over them. Ki ahad shehu ra'et Hashem yivarach ra'ui le'amuma she'yiru mimen. One of the righteous one should rule, because since he fears Hashem yivarach, it is appropriate for his people to fear him. So when the pasuk says a ruler over men is the righteous one, the fear of God rules, Hashem will obey. What does that mean? The righteous, only a righteous person was fit to be ruler over them, over men, since his rule is the rule of God. So that it's not only. So he's basically saying that only this righteous person, is not really ruler, or he's not actually the ruler. It's really kind of like it's really the rule over the of the fear of God. So that's what we're saying. And if he fears Hashem, so it's proper for people to fear him. If he doesn't fear Hashem, obviously, then people not supposed to be fearing him. Three considerations that relate to how such a person's actions affect the people, or as well as ayahat. One is that he causes pain to the community by imposing fear of himself in the mind of and this action is transgression. You're not allowed to have people be scared of fear of you. So transgression, it says, each of you shall not distress his fellow. And this refers to distressing another person verbally, we already explained. So one goes to the community of fear and violates the prohibition of causing others distress on a massive scale. So that's another problem. So now we're saying the three considerations that relate to the person. We just before said about two considerations, that's the person himself. Now we're talking about how it affects people. So one is that it's a law. You're making them you're causing them to be scared, have fear of you. And it says you should not distress your fellow, which is don't make him fear you, unless if you're fearing Hashem. Second consideration is the many pitfalls arise as a result of instilling fear. Example of this is that said, one should never instill excessive fear in his household. שערי פילגש בגבעה יציל עליה בעלה אימה יתרה. For the concubine of Gibeah, her husband made her excessively afraid of him. Mipila kama rivavot Mishrael, and the result was many myriads of Israelim were felled in the civil war that followed. Surely ensuing excessive fear in the entire community caused untold and irreparable harm. So second thing we're saying now is that many pitfalls and things like that happen from a result of instilling fear, like meaning punishment and stuff, because it says in Masechet Gitin that one should never instill excessive fear in his household, meaning his wife. But in the case of the concubine in Gibeah, her husband made her scared of him, and what happened was that there are many myriads of Israelim were felled in the war that followed. Certainly instilling excessive fear in an entire community, again, can cause untold irreparable harm. Safe Kuf Samak Zayin. Rashi sheep. Third consideration, Kema Kadosh Hem Avdei Hashem Para. The holy people are servants of Hashem Para. En lahem leikana lechasad v'adam. Should not be made to humble themselves to a mortal being. Ve'en min ha'ra'ui yot morav asar adam alehem. It is not proper that the dread of a mortal being should be upon them, ela l'shem shamayim, unless it's for the sake of heaven. Shenemad kili v'nei Yisrael avadim avadehem. As it says, for the children of Israel who are servants to me, they are my servants. V'lo avadim la avadim. They are my servants implies that only my, meaning Hashem's servants, and not the servants of other servants of Hashem. Meaning, the Jewish people are dominated by selfish leaders. They are made to serve other servants of Hashem, and not Hashem himself. When their leaders rule properly for the sake of Hashem, then they are considered being serving one master, Hashem. So the third thing we're saying, third consideration is that holy people are servants of Hashem. They should not be made to humble themselves to a mortal being. And they should not be serving, it's not proper for a mortal being, the dread of a mortal being should be upon them, unless it's for the sake of heaven. Because Pasuk said, for the children of Israel are servants to me, they are my servants. And why does it say they are my servants? It repeats it, means only my servants, not the servants of other servants. Meaning, when the Jewish people are dominated by selfish leaders, meaning that they are considered servants of Hashem. But when you're serving, the leaders rule properly for the sake of heaven, it's considered as the people who are serving him, they're actually just serving Hashem, not serving him. It says further, Ve'atem tiyu li mamlechet kohanim v'goy kadosh, shall be for me a kingdom of nobles and a holy nation. So now the Biranah defines the term mamlechet kohanim, which means a kingdom of nobles. L'shem kohanim adonim v'sarim. The term kohanim does not mean descendants of Aaron, as that type of kohanim. It means lords and princes, or V'chamohu Ubnei David Kohanim Ayu. Slower usage is the pasuk, and the sons of David were Kohanim. David himself was not a descendant of Aaron, so sons could not possibly be Kohanim. Rather, the pasuk means that they were men of great standing, meaning that some type of royalty, whatever. The entire nation is called Mamlacha, not just the head of the state. Of state Melishon, Im Yesh Goyim Mamlacha. This is as in the expression in Melachim Aleph, that there is not a nation or a kingdom where my Lord has not sent to seek you. The expression for the nation and the kingdom that does not serve you will perish. In both these cases, the term mamlacha means kingdom and first nation as a whole, not just the monarchy. The meaning of our pasuk then is that you shall be a kingdom that consists entirely of noblemen, meaning that the yoke of human authority will not be upon you. So what we're saying is that when pasuk says you shall you shall be for me a kingdom of nobles and a holy nation, doesn't mean you shall be for me Kohanim. That's not what we're talking about. We're saying Mamleket Kohanim. We're talking about Kohanim as in lords or princes. And so our pasuk is therefore teaching us that shall be a kingdom that consists entirely of noblemen. So that means that the yoke of human authority will not be upon you. That's what we explained before. ונאמר מיד ותראי מאנוש ימות. Pasuk says in Yeshaya, Hashem tells the Jewish people, who are you that you should be afraid of mortal humans? ונאמר אל תראו הרפת אנוש. Also says, listen to me, the nation with my Torah, and its heart, do not fear the insults of men. Said, ושרבו האומרים לרע טוב ולטוב רע. When there's an increase of who call evil good and good evil, meaning in those who praise evildoers and disparage the righteous, פרקומה מעליהם all שמיים והומלך עליהם all בשר ודם, cancel the yoke of heaven from themselves, and the yoke of flesh and blood, and that was made king over them. Once they rejected the authority of Hashem, they began to suffer the domination of others. ואמר דוד עליו שלום, דוד המלך עליו שלום said, קום השם על יעוז אנוש, arise Hashem, let not frail man be a man feel invincible, ישפטו גויים, up and let the peoples be judged before you Hashem, שיטה השם הורה להם ידעו גויים אנוש שמה ישראלה, place your mastery over them, and that the peoples may know that they are a frail man, Selah. Man is inherently frail mortal, and it's proper for him to have any independent power. Lamanu mizeh. Whenever from this prayer, ki et asher yaez enosh eno makishehu enosh, that when a person is raised in the use of his power, acting as if he is invincible, that he does not recognize the fact that he is but a frail man. For true authority is unworthy of a frail man, meaning humanity, the Shem Shamayim, except one is exercised for the sake of heaven. So basically what we're saying over here is that it says, now the proof of this is Pasuk says that Hashem tells the Jewish people, who are you? They should be afraid of mortal humans. It also says, do not fear insults of men. So it's telling us don't fear mortal human beings. Also, the Hakamim also said that there is when there is an increase in those called evil good and good evil, meaning the opposite of what's supposed to be, then and those who praise evildoers and the righteous by their actions, they're casting off the yoke of heaven from themselves, and also subsequently the yoke of the flesh and blood that was made king over them. So now that you rejected the authority of Hashem, they're also suffering the domination of others. Because now, you don't believe in Hashem, so now you're going to deal with all those other people that that's who you're believing in. That's who you're respecting. So then he said, Amalek said, the prayer with regards to the power of the wicked that arise, Hashem, let not a frail man feel invincible, because and let the people be judged before you, Hashem. Place your mastery over them, and that their peoples may know that they are frail men, Selah. And then this is just telling us that man is frail and mortal, and therefore it is improper for him to have any independent power. So we learn from this prayer over here, that when a person is brazen in the use of his own power, acting if he's invincible, then he does not recognize the fact that he is but frail man, the authority is unworthy of such a person. So that's the point. So again, what does it mean when you're causing fear in other people? There's a couple of problems. And because the one we're saying over here is that because they just don't deserve the respect, unless because tzaddikim don't need to bow down to such people because they don't deserve the respect. And that's what it means to those who putting fear in people, for people are making people fear them. So now we're going to say the next thing: those who separate themselves from the community. So now we're returning to the class of those who separate themselves from the community. Seif Kuf Samah. ואתה נפרש עניין עונש החורשים מדרכי הציבור. Now we should explain the reasons for the punishment for those who separate themselves from the conduct of the community. And we will explain that it is including the punishment of the classes that we have already discussed. ותאסף ראשי העם וקהילות הקודש לעבוד את השם פרה. When the leaders of the people and their followers, the whole congregation gathered together to serve Hashem Parah. ומסכימים הסכמות להעמיד להם מצוות. They make resolutions to establish for themselves mitzvah obligations, and הם מקדשים את השם יקדש ויקדש. They are sanctifying the name of Hashem, and it may be exalted and sanctified. שנאמר ויהי ישורון מלך ותעשה ראשי העם יחד שתי ישראל, שת דברים, Hashem became king over Yeshurun, meaning the people of Israel, and when the head of the people gathered, the tribes of Israel in unity. This means that when the people unite in a common worthy cause, Hashem becomes the king, meaning his kingship is established and his name is sanctified. Also, it says, further, the voted ones of the nations gathered, the nations of the God of Abraham, for the shields of the land, our God, he is exceedingly exalted. So now the Baranah is basically explaining the reason why those separate themselves from the community, they're being punished. Including the punishments and we'll explain that it's including the punishments of classes we already discussed. So Baranah says that when leaders of the people and their followers, all the congregation gathered together, serve Hashem, they're basically saying, and they're said that they want to come closer to Hashem and do mitzvot and things like that. Now what you're doing is that you're separating yourself from it. Saying, I don't want to be part of this. And people who do, you come and join together to sanctify, they're sanctifying the name of Hashem by joining together to reform Hashem's community. And Hashem, as it says, Hashem became king over Yeshurun, when the heads of the people gathered, the tribes of Israel in unity. Meaning, he became king when the tribes of Israel gathered in unity. Hashem was going to become king only when he becomes king when his name is sanctified by doing his mitzvah. And also further says the devoted ones of the nations gathered, the nation of the God of Abraham, for the shield, the land of God, the land of God, our God, he is exceedingly exalted. Now what does that mean? The nations mentioned here, mean the devoted ones of nations gathered, are the people of Israel, are called nations because they are divided into 12 tribes. It says, the nations will assemble at the mount, although there are, in one sense, considered many nations, there is still one nation, and they're united goals to serve Hashem. The pasuk says, the nation of the God of Abraham, right? That's not even if you're old. Nations of the land are gods, the kings. The pasuk demonstrated. The kings and the officers are called shields, since they provide security for the land. And they show on Mishhul Magen, as in the expression arise, officers anoint the shield, referring to the king, protects the land like a shield. Perush meaning, this means that the devoted ones of the nations gather to serve Hashem Barach. Because the kings of the land, meaning their kings and officers, are gods, meaning that they are servants and faithful subjects. Under the direction of the leaders of the nation who are faithful to Hashem, the Jewish people gather to serve Him. Praise for the shields of the land, our their gods is similar to what it says, for our shield is loyal to Hashem, and our king is loyal to the Holy One of Israel. Finally, the pasuk concludes, he's extremely exalted. Shekadosh Baruch Hu mitalel v'olamo ba'sifatam v'avodatam. For the Holy Hakadosh Baruch Hu is exalted and praised in His world by His people's gatherings and their divine service. So basically, what we're saying over here is that basically, so we said the pasuk says the devoted ones of the nations gathered, and the nation of the God of Abraham, and the shields of the land are God's. He's exceedingly exalted. So what does it mean, the nations over here? It refers to only one nation. It's referring to Israel. Why are they called nations? Because they're divided into 12 tribes. Each tribe is considered a nation, even though they're not really separate nations, just tribes. They're considered separate nations. As it says, the nations will assemble to the mount. This refers to, even though there are many nations, they still have one goal, which is to serve Hashem. Also, pasuk says, that's why pasuk says the nation of Abraham, meaning it's singular nation. For the shields of the land are God's. What does that mean? Why the kings and officers? The kings and officers are the things that they're calling shields. As in the expression, arise, O officers, and anoint the shield, which refers to the king who protects the land like a shield. So, what does that mean? What's the pasuk saying? That the devoted ones of the nations gathered serve Hashem, because the shield of the land, meaning the kings and officers, are God's, meaning that they are His servants and faithful subjects. So meaning that the kings and officers are following Hashem, and that's just like it says for our shield. If our shield is loyal to Hashem, and our king is loyal to the Holy One of Israel. The shield is referring to the king again. And that's what we're talking about. And finally, when the pasuk concludes, he is exceedingly exalted, it means that it's because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is exalted and praised in His world by His people, His gatherings, and their divine service. So that's what this pasuk means. A person who separates himself from the conduct of the community, Hinehu Kimkat al Haskamat Avodat Hashem, is in effect criticizing the public collective decision to promote the service of Hashem. Uyosem Kilal Kadeshim et Hashem. By his actions, it is as if he removes himself from the society of those who sanctify Hashem's name. And he shows that he does not wish to be among their council or to be inscribed in the record. Meaning that he does not want to be counted as participating in their purpose. He's therefore disagreeing the service to Hashem. And as such, he's included in the classes that we mentioned, those who scorn the word of Hashem, and he has no share in the world to come. So now, now we're saying reasons. Saying so one reason why it's evil. What's the evil that he's doing when he's setting himself apart from the kahal? What's the problem? So one is that he's so you have everyone there. They decided to serve Hashem. He, by separating himself from the kahal, from the people, he's showing that he does not wish for this to be happening. He does not want to be counted as participating in this, and this is and that's creating the service of Hashem. And as such, he's considered as those who scorn the word of Hashem, as we said, but has no share in the world to come. That's the first reason. Ashanit, the second reason, ki hem meni'im le halusheh ha'edot, and to discourage the weak-minded, meaning those who are weak in their convictions, from joining the resolutions of the community. They withdraw from their conduct of the community. That they are therefore among those who cause the public to sin, because they have some weak people. They really don't want to do it. They're just doing it because all other people are doing it. But once they see that some people actually are, they're not doing it, they're against the community, so they're gonna follow that. So that's the two reasons. So now that we explained that, the Birna says the final class in this section, the class of those who desert Hashem. Save Ku Samachtet Ata Nefarish Inyan Battles Osve Hashem. Now let's explain the matter of the class of those who desert Hashem. All Yirat Shamayim will say that these are people who do not bear the yoke, the fear of heaven upon themselves, meaning they do not seriously consider themselves bound by the laws of the Torah. Vehem Mekayimim Et HaMisvot Misvat Anashim Elumata. Therefore, those by they fulfilled the mitzvot by rote, superficially, without feeling bound to them. Now the Yitzhara overpowers this man, Halaf Ruach Vayavor Hashem, and a new spirit comes over him, meaning it changes direction and transgresses and bears the guilt of his sins. He will not tire or worry about his sin. Indeed, he eats and wipes his mouth, as if nothing significant has taken place. He considers himself as if he done no wrong. This complete lack of conscience is the goal of the Yetzirah, as it says. In my heart, I say that that transgressions were to the wicked. The Yetzirah's message to the wicked is that there should be no dread of a God before his eyes. One's observance is nothing more than habit, and sins are performed casually, without regret. Consider deserted Hashem and his Torah, and he has no share in the world to come. So what are we saying now? So who's considered somebody who deserts Hashem? So what that means is that people, they say, they not seriously consider themselves bound by the Torah. Meaning, it's not a big deal to transgress the Torah. And these people, they fulfill the mitzvot by rote, meaning they don't feel bound to these mitzvot. Like, it's not, it's optional, whatever. Like, that type of thing. Because when Yetzirah overpowers this man, and the new spirit becomes over him, meaning he changes his direction, and transgression and bear the guilt of his sins, he's not embarrassed because it's not a big deal for him. It's like he's eating and he eats something, he wipes his mouth, he probably regrets tiny bits, then he forgets about it. Okay, it's no big deal. So he thinks it as maybe a tiny mistake, but maybe not even. But that's it. And this is as it says, in my heart I say that transgress his word to the wicked, meaning the Yetzirah's message to the wicked is that there should be no dread of God before his eyes. So one who sins is nothing more than a habit, and he sins casually without regret. He's considered deserving Hashem and Torah, and therefore he has no share in the world to come. So, Sif Kuf Ayin. ויש מן הכת הרעה הזאת, there exists among this evil class of those who desert Hashem, כי לא רע להם השם לא לשוח על הדוד, כי הוא חוק ועדות, those who it's not enough for that they are seized with trembling when they violate the Torah's laws and its mitzvot, and they have no regret when they sin. אבל יעלו יברכו נפשם במעלותם תאוותם. So they even praise and congratulate themselves when they satisfy their desire in sin. They are ones who anger and act blasphemously before Hashem. It says in Tehillim that when the wicked man glorifies his personal desire, and the robber praises himself, and blasphemes Hashem, meaning glorifying and glorying in one's sins and basking in self-congratulation, one's theft constitutes disrespect. ודיבר ישעיהו עליו השלום, אדון הכת ההיא, Yeshayahu Shalom spoke about the destruction of this class of sinners who desert Hashem. It says a shattering awaits rebels and sinners together, and those who forsake Hashem will cease to exist. The prophet compares rebels and sinners who, despite their sins, have not deserted Hashem entirely, to a shattered utensil, which at least has the shards of the vessel as remnant, meaning it still exists to some extent. But in contrast, those who desert Hashem will cease to exist, they have no share in the world to come. For behold, the day is coming, burning like an oven, when all the wicked people will be like straw, and that coming day will burn them up, so that it will not leave them a root or branch. A plant whose roots remain, the roots remain, it can regenerate. These wicked people are completely consumed, therefore they're just gone. Even the world to come is, after all their punishment, they will cease to exist. So Birna is telling us over here that there's even a worse form of this class of those who desert Hashem. And that is that it's not enough that they are not seized with trembling when they violate the Torah mitzvot. Not only that, they're proud of themselves, meaning they when they satisfy the desire, they're like, wow, I did a great. They're happy. They're proud of themselves about it. That is, you're disrespecting Hashem. It says when the wicked man glorifies his personal desire and robbers praise himself and blame Hashem, meaning glorifying your sin and basking in self-congratulation for one that constitutes disrespect. And Yeshayahu also he spoke about the destruction of the class of these people who desert Hashem. It says a shattering awaits rebels and sinners together, and those who forsake Hashem will cease to exist. Meaning, shattering means they have a shatter. You tend to that shatter. It's still repairable, or eventually it could be repaired. If something that ceases to exist means it's gone. And that's people who desert Hashem. They have no share in the world to come. As it says, for behold, the day is coming, burning like an oven, when all the wicked people will be like straw, and that coming day will burn them up, so that they will leave them not leave them a root or a branch. Meaning, if they don't even have a root or a branch, they're completely destroyed because they can't, no way to regenerate. See, Kuf Ayin Aleph, Yodan Akitot Haniskarot. Now the complete destruction of the world to come, class is mentioned. This much to go as teshuva. This is important. It only occurs if they did not repent. Avalim shavu medarkam hara'a. But if they repented from their evil ways, imleta nafsham min ha'odan, their souls will be saved from destruction. Kanyan shene'emar, shuvu banim shuavim merpam mishuvotechem. Says in Yirmiyahu, return, O rebellious sons, and I will hear your rebelliousness, etc. ונאמר תשובה ישראל על השם אלוקיך, כי חשבת בעוונך. Also further said, return Israel to Hashem, your God, for you have stumbled in your sin. ונאמר בתשובה ונחת תירשעון. Also further said, through repentance you will have tranquility and you will be saved. So, concluding all of this, and concluding the 10th level of severity, we're saying that the destruction of the world to come that we just mentioned, all the severe stuff, it only applies if you didn't do teshuva. If you did do teshuva, so you'll be saved, your soul will be saved from this destruction. Obviously, the more severe a sin is, the more teshuva you have to do. But if you do teshuva, the Beranah says you'll be saved from destruction. As it says, return your rebellious sons, and I'll hear your rebelliousness. Meaning, you do return, then I'll heal your rebelliousness. And also it says, return Israel unto Hashem your God, for you have stumbled in your sin. So Hashem is telling us we should return to Him. So that concludes this category of severity. Now, then, Ezat Hashem, next time, we'll discuss the 4 classes of sinners who will not greet the countenance of the Shekinah. And because Baruch Hashem, we finished those who have no share in the world to come. Also, these people have no share in the world to come. They're not going to greet the countenance of the Shekinah. Ezat Hashem, next time we'll continue with Save Kuf Ayin Bet. Ezat Hashem will continue next time.